think our team's in a pretty good form right now. Obviously, we've had some bad events in the past, like the last 3 or 4 months, like IEM Katowice, DreamHack Masters Las Vegas. We didn't have really good showings there, but we have a new roster here. We're playing with, I guess you could say a stand-in, but he's more of like he's our temporary right now. He's our coach, and he's playing with us, so it's tough. But I think that we match up well against SK. We've beaten them online many times. We haven't really seen them on land that much, but I feel like we can bring a good fight to them.
So far in this tournament we did very well. All the games we played, we felt that we're playing as a team, and I think the results kind of show that as well. So we're very satisfied with our performance so far. First, we have a new player, and when you have new players, you kind of have to adapt yourself to integrate him as a part of the team. And I think we suffered a little bit at this in the beginning, and now I think we understood how we are supposed to play, and I think he's adapting himself, Phelps, our new player, in a good way, and the team is starting to show its strength already.
I'm not saying they're complacent, but they might have gotten complacent in the last like 6 months or so. I don't know the inner workings of their team or something like that, but I know that they were dominant until 2016. They won 2 majors, and then they kind of had a dip in performance. But then again, it's pretty hard to stay consistent that long to like win another 3rd major. Like that's asking a lot, especially with a stand-in. They had Fox. So
I don't think the matchup is going to be really dramatic. I think if we play our game, we're going to stomp them. But it's Counter-Strike. So they can really be on a good day. We can lose pistols, and the match can go very wrong. So I never disrespect my opponents. But I think if we play the game we're playing on the group stage, we won't have any problems taking the semifinals.
I think that we can beat SK because we have a lot of individual skill, and we have grown. Our teamwork has grown since we've gotten Hayes. Our CT sides used to not be that strong, but we have amazing communication now with Hayes, and I think that our CT sides will win us the game probably if we do win.
And I think they'll never be better than us in team play. We are on the right path, and this time we're going to prove it.
Well, Rush said they needed their CT side. That was what they'd be able to lean on here, but we didn't get to see any of that in the first map. A couple rounds, and that was it for OpTic's CT side. Cobblestone, gentlemen, is going to be our 2nd map of this series, and this is a bit of an interesting one to see come up in the veto at this stage. Overpass, should I say.
Overpass, yeah, it was a gamble from OpTic Gaming basically to veto Mirage, to hope that SK is going to pick Cobble because that's a map that OpTic also plays. They only played Overpass a couple of times online. You know, recently they played even against SK. SK crushed them on that map, so it was kind of a gamble pick. Didn't really pan out for them, and this is where SK can just continue to be dominant. Usually you would say it's kind of beneficial for you to start on the CT side, which OpTic will do, but SK can just dictate the tempo of the game from the T side. They can kind of ride that momentum from Train.
Yeah, I think with OpTic, I mean, what we've seen from their CT sides is they can be very, very passive. And you're just allowing SK to get that map control, which they're already really good at, and to give it up for free, it just gives them such a huge advantage going into the half. So starting out CT, OpTic are going to need to put a lot of aggression in. I think they're going to have to try and unstable SK from the start. This is their chance now to put their foot down. They didn't get a chance to unleash their CT side on Train, obviously, because their T side was so poor, but this is their one chance here to get some rounds against SK.
So you say you like to see a little bit of aggression on that CT side from OpTic.
Yeah.
How does that match up against, we know, that the raw fury that SK bring aggressively in general?
Yeah, maybe a silver lining for them is SK gets a little bit overconfident. You know, the likes of Phelps maybe get a bit too excited and go into some crazy individual plays. OpTic needs to get momentum early because they've had such a crushing loss on map 1. SK has all the confidence in the world right now. You kind of need to shut them down, need to make them respect you, and then you'll be able to play CS against them.
And SK look anything but complacent right now. Who was maybe mentioned or teased by Rush in that interview, but they look like they're very much dedicated here and coming out to win. Can we really see them being unraveled on this map? I mean, Train was supposed to be OpTic's best chance, and that's gone.
Well, I mean, unlucky for them that they have to start T, but I mean, that's what happens when you pick your map. You've got to have something to bring, and they just got absolutely crushed, right? So coming into this map, they're starting CT. They're able to get a strong foundation down if they can adapt from the last time that they played, where when they versed SK, it just looked like they were just super passive. Occasionally you get the odd play coming out from Tarek, but that was it.
And OpTic's key players going missing in that last map. What do we need to see from them here?
They absolutely need to step up, but it's going to be extremely difficult against SK because, you know, you look at what Henry said into introduction, what he remembers from IEM most, it's the game of luminosity. Now SK versus Navi, that crazy Overpass game, and it just tells you how good SK was on that map. They really know how to play it. It's been in and out of their like map pool, so to speak. Fallen also with his resurgence, we saw the highlights from him as well on the map, obviously enjoys playing it very much and is very good at switching bomb sites as well, playing close range and long range. SK are just a pest on this map. It's very hard to play against them.
And you can just see the impact of having to go up against this brand of Counter-Strike. Naf was the highest rated player at this tournament in terms of his stats. He was completely nullified in that last map.
Wasn't a lot of teabagging going on in that map, was there?
I can tell you that for sure.
It's not without a small satisfaction that I note that. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, he did. I guess wanted to be he wanted to be the bad guy when he came into this venue up against the Australians. I finally found that one here, but he may not have much longer here to show his particular brand of villainy. One more chance for OpTic to stay in, and SK are one step away from booking their ticket into the final. Let's head it over to our casters. It's going to be Henry G and Sadikist.
Yes, thanks, Mitch. We're excited again to get into Overpass, hopefully to get a series out of this, or at least a game from OpTic. They'll start out CT side. This SK's pick. We know Fallen was good on terrain. This another map where he can go absolutely off the chart.
Yeah, absolutely. The good news is for OpTic, they get to start on the CT side. It's certainly still that CT side map for sure. We'll see what happens as we get into this one. Ladies and gentlemen, the second map, OpTic looking to find something here as we get into it. SK heading towards B. Flashbangs and a Molotov. They've got a decoy as well. 4 sets of armor heading towards B. And it's a straight up rush. Tarek trying to challenge, but he's flashed. Oh, that is getting overwhelmed. It's an absolute disaster for OpTic once again. 3 kills coming in as quick as that.
Nav has snuck around, behind Fur undetected, but goes down immediately, having only gotten the 1 kill onto Fallen. He may have had potential for more, and he would have needed it to save anything in this particular round, because SK, with Taco to take down Hayes, just dominate, waltz into the B site.
More of the same, unfortunately, there. We needed that good start from OpTic to really sink their teeth into the second map, to kick things off with their best foot forward. And you can see, once again, OpTic not really turning up into that pistol round. It's going to be a straight-up B rush from SK Gaming. Flashbang was good. They actually had heavy presence there. The CT side couldn't find anything at all. It's going to be a little bit more investment we saw in the second round. In the first map, they got 5/7s body armor and a couple of bits of utility as well. Mix one at decent position on top of the ledge. Managing to find the first frag, but Phelps still starts to mow them down once again with the UMP. 2 kills, 1 for the smoke as well. Not bad at all.
Having a good day, Phelps. Getting a bunch of kills at any available moment. Taco will take down Naf. It's Russian sitting inside of the water position. Construction going to catch them off and can't do it. The panic spray on the pistol. Fur gets 2 on the MAC-10. And money being accumulated once more. Taco does still have the AK-47. The rest all on SMGs. I think Phelps, having gone down, could upgrade right now. 6450. Oh, he's going to get dropped by Fur. Interesting. So potentially looking for a T-sided op out of him in the next round. He's got enough for it right now.
Not too much work needed here into round number 3. Nothing invested whatsoever by OpTic. A P250, make it 2 of those. That's about it. $600 into this round. As we get into it, SK don't really have to do too much. They'll go into a default to kick things off. No rush this time. Wait for any CT aggression to come in towards middle. Fly is going to be there with some teammates as well. Mixwell, Rush and Tarek actually showing heavy presence towards the A side of the map, an open B bomb site. Unfortunately for them, Taco has made his way in there, found absolutely nothing, and he'll call for the bomb to come over momentarily. But Taco, he'll be finding a kill. That was towards Heaven, I believe, as well. So that's going to be B side open. Cold Zera, he's stopping rotations in that connected position.
Still trying. They get closer, fading them out. Eventually, he'll get 2 kills. Snap into the pistol. Down goes Tarek. Skill as always from Cold Zera. And here we go, gun round. Important for OpTic to get into this game early. Don't let it slip away far too much as the last did. Mixwell has gone to his AWP already.
Yeah, we said rough tournament from so far. If there was a time to step up, this would be it. Famas for Hayes. A couple of players forced by in that second round, limits him slightly. 1 defuse kit on the back of Rush. And this is a bit of a bonus round for SK Gaming. They're all coming in just yet. They still have those 2 UMPs. Suggests something a little bit faster most of the time. Made it towards the T-steps. Doesn't actually land as of yet. In terms of initial aggression, it's Mixwell though to find the first frag. I think that was actually towards short, so he takes down Taco as we have 5 and 4 finally in favor of OpTic. That has not happened much in this series so far. It's going to be Taco that goes down first.
Eric trying to find his sliver gap by bathrooms that's smoked off. A mask, at least from Tarek, that they're not going that direction yet, but look at this push-up. This is decent from Hayes and Rush. They're sitting a bit in the open now, though. They've got to hit the shots. Succeed on the first, dodge of the blast, and Rush is caught in the open. Does very well to get 2, all things considered, because they were pushing for information, having been smoked off toward the bathroom side on A.
Yeah, I would say that's better than expected. There's no real reason to push in the CD side. You've got that man advantage. It's a 5-on-4. What a risk that was, but they come out on top, managing to extend the lead. 3-on-2 now, but it's Caldera and Phelps, a deadly duo with 45 seconds remaining as well. The CD defense spread thin and out. Mixwell and Nafly focusing towards the B side. Tarek solo on A. Of course, Mixwell, the AWP, he'll be patrolling towards the short area of the map. We'll see whether he can actually hold them off. He will be finishing up towards B. SK coming from short and Monster Tunnel.
SK. Molotov's in toward ramp side. Second one on the right that we just saw come in from over Monster will cover off barrels, presumably. Yep, there it is. As Naf somehow found a sliver between them. Actually, I think he's 40s behind the pillar, so he's got a chance. What a shot, though, from Phelps. Tarek responding with the M4. And he's got a smoke down in front of him, so Naf does the job instead, and they will hold on OpTic in the first gun.
Mixwell just types wow in chat, and that's a bit of an understatement. What a pre-fire that was from Phelps. Completely eviscerates his opponent there. Look at this, how quick is that?
Oh, that's insane.
Well then, OpTic do find the first gun round, but like I said, a bit of a bonus round. And if you're not familiar with Counter-Strike, it's normally when you have a very good start, you get that 3-0, you have residual SMGs coming in, and it means you're not fully equipped, you're trying to build your bank accounts. And still going forward, SK now, this is the first real gun round. With the AWP fallen, 4 AKs as well, and this is where OpTic really will be challenged. Can they avoid the reset at this point?
So Tarek to wait. Haze boost, they're going to run him across at Monster, so he's not spotted with no smoke down. That's why they go that route instead. 3 out toward long as well. Tarek and Mixwell this time, but they've got to back off ever so slightly. Having no one out toward long and a smoke down in front of them. Mix has gone wide outside of the bathroom door to see if anyone will approach from top middle. But Cold's already made it inside of the bathroom connection point on his own, so they've got to be a little bit careful here, because if Tarek, yeah, okay, that flash is almost beneficial to them because it's going to force them back. If Tarek got caught off inside, Mix would have no escape plan back to the site.
So, classic default now for SK Gaming. They have got a little bit of control towards long for behind the tree position as patrolling that area. In terms of aggression over the CTs, not much. 3 players on the A side, Rush and Hayes to hold off on B. And this could be full execution territory, considering SK are making their way towards middle. They still have their smokes in hand as well. Wall of smoke's very common. Mixwell there, watching towards middle. See if you find that first frag. Holds a tight angle, drops the smoke to buy some time. Perfect time to deploy it as well. Only 30 seconds remaining at this stage. Goes towards bathroom. Should nail this shot, but he gets caught out. Hits the tag, but taken down by Caldera.
Look at SK. A flurry of frags and desperation from Naf that just gives himself up. Yep. He's out, so are the rest of his teammates. Alive with an UMP and an M4. They're going to try and hold those further.
Yeah, that's just textbook round from SK there. Get some map control, push the CDs back to the bomb site, smokes go down. Mixwell, if he holds that angle he was originally in, he's got cover and an option to fall back as well. He has to hit that shot in bathroom to even stand a chance of falling back. He hits it, sure, but it's only a leg shot. Caldera goes down to 80 HP. He's then punished, and the round unfolds, and nothing OpTic can do about it. They have to save these weapons. Next round's going to be real rough. With the reinvestment, they did win the previous round, sure, but they had to buy all the grenades again. They lost 3 players in total. So in terms of the money they get next round, $1,400. They need to save this M4 and the UMP to have any chance to buy into the next. And SK Gaming looking very comfortable once again. They upgrade to a double AWP set up on the T side of Overpass. And here we go, a replay from a frag we didn't see. You can see it look a bit overwhelmed. Tarek just having no idea. There could be a player towards long. There's the wall bang from Fur. Very well done indeed. 4-1. I'll have a look at the buy coming in now. OpTic. Oh, this is so rough. What do you do here? Do you force into it, hope for the best? It looks like that will be the option. Famas is coming in. Maybe a shotgun at this stage. We'll see whether that comes to fruition. Not yet. Naf just on a P250. So Overpass, the map that certainly lends itself to CT aggression is going to be Mixwell. Makes his way towards Connector. He's got to start finding frags now. He's only got that UMP though. Can't go for the long-range duel. He'll just be holding up at the corner. And the double AWP set up from SK suggests they'll be slowing things right down. It's Caldera and Fallen this time. So many players in this team can AWP. Like you said in the first map, Taco seems to be the main secondary AWPer at the moment, but Caldera and Fallen, that's a classic combo.
Nafly, close corner, could try and catch off Taco when he gets in position. He should easily get a kill down. He's checking the boost, but he's slow. Taco to round the corner. Good pickup. Gun immediately grabbed. But Mixwell down and traded out by Phelps. If I take that back, hasn't actually walked forward to get that gun, despite that it's easily grabbable. He doesn't know it. He thinks there's someone else close by, so he's not willing to take that risk. It will be available on rotation, should they commit to this hit on the A site. Tarek, the only one here. To extinguish the Molotov. Back off, but wrong call. Phelps has already gone by the front door, and he had no idea.
Yeah, this is looking sloppy now from OpTic. Caught out position all over the place, and Fur once again snuck his way to the A side. I think they have to save these weapons again. They've got no chance of retaking this. It's a 4-on-2. Orb's going to be watching the bomb any second now as well. There is a nice flank though. The only chance they have is Hayes coming in from long, but he's got that UMP. It's not looking great. Rush has submitted already. Hayes should probably just be looking to save his weapon at this point. Maybe trying to upgrade the AK. I'd suggest he just hides behind this rock. Doesn't go any further. Wants to explore his options though. It's almost certainly going to be death if he goes any further, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. Looks towards bathrooms, and it looks like he's going to be finding Phelps, and he gets that kill and does upgrade to the AK. So something to work with next round. Won't be winning this one, but saving 3 weapons is always going to be beneficial.
Cold takes Hayes down as he tries to run. There's no running or hiding at this point from SK. They're going to pick up a 5th round. OpTic, like we say, did pick up a round early on in the gun, but that's going to be answered back. I think. That's my game gives me trouble. There we go. Okay, yeah, money's going to be the same problem as, again, they try and save those 2, but they're not building up on the others.
Yeah, so they saved 2 weapons once again, but only $1,900 coming in. And OpTic right now, they seem so segregated. Every duel is a solo encounter for them. There's no refrag potential. They're in positions that are so far pushed up. They have no backup option, and you can see them getting overwhelmed once more. They picked up that first gun round, but the caveat to that is it was with 3 AKs and 2 UMPs. It was not SK at their final form. So we're going to round number 7. M4 for Rush, AK-47 for Nafly, and Tarek's made his way towards Connector with that P250, but he's going to be finding players any second now. It's a crossfire, one of the saved AKs. Hands enough, like I just said. He will be trying to bait in Tarek, who's in that tight corner, and a shot from Fur as he waltzes into the B site. No one else there, finds the first frag. Hayes is dropped.
Oops. Ooh. Turning around to dodge his teammate's flash nearly cost him as he finds Tarek in the corner, but can't actually take him down before the blind comes in. That's going to cost him dearly, in fact, because Nap sets a crossfire. They do burn Tarek alive, but they're still going to pursue this, and Nafly is going to go even further than that to take Cold Tira. They're getting locked out as bomb is planted, but they're doing damage, and they've picked up an AWP for Mixwell. Unfortunately, Naf gets a little bit too greedy, and Fur will catch him. I may have, in that case, looked to try and just run down, get out the ladder, and save with the AWP.
Yeah, it's not even worth it. There's no real money reward for finding AWP kills. Save that weapon. In terms of the next round buy, they will have enough to work with. It's $2,400 coming in on top of the 2K they have right now. If they save this orb, they're in great shape. Good smoke to go down to buy him some time. But Taco, he is on the hunted team. So you can see the smoke coming in. Nice work by Mixwell. Doesn't want to fall back yet, though. Trying to take as many SK players down as he can. He's finding 2, so that's good work. That smoke very beneficial for him, and he will save the orb as well. So good job to limit the terrorist economy regardless. He doesn't get much money for himself, but that's going to be chipping away at SK Gaming. But to be fair, they've got about 10K per player, so not a huge deal. Here's the replay from Nafly. They had a decent crossfire there, but that Molotov was a bit of a problem. Getting toasty there for Tarek as he went down. Found him eventually. 6-1. No pause from what I can see as we have from OpTic. We have another gun round here. 4-4s, and Mixwell. AWP once again. Does he dare try and challenge to Fallen in that mid position? Looks like he wants to go towards the bench. Heads in towards Connector once more. It's a nice smoke down to give the CTs an option to push forward if they want to. Decide against it, and they'll be falling back, including Mixwell with the orb. He's going to the A site and presumably to hold long. From what I can see now, SK focusing on the Connector and the B side of the map as well. Taco and Fallen taking care of business towards Monster and Shorts. Fallen not even pre-firing that boost position as well. Very confident.
Yeah, runs out, does the little head jump off the pipe, but this is why. He wants to get them in position faster so that they can get Taco up and catch them off potentially. He's still trying to look toward barrels. He won't spot them yet. Jump up, and still couldn't quite see them in behind the pallets on the site. Meanwhile, over toward A, it's Mixwell that's got to do some deed in the return because Fur is just taking down Tarek. Despite that it's a trade, it's still a problem because he's alone in the site now with an AWP, and he's limited in his position. Rotation from Naf, though, Swift. Not swift enough as Fallen's able to take it back. Still the AWP has to be the only defense, and Cold Psalm trying to sneak in close with the op.
3-on-2 now. Hayes up against it with Rush. Hayes coming from Connector as well. It's a very common flank. I'm sure SK will not allow it to happen. And Taco, he just executes Rush. That's round over, I'm afraid. Hayes, if you're not aware, he's the coach of this team. He's a former player of CLG, and obviously not going to be fully match fit on a world-class level right now. Has had a decent tournament, but this might be a stretch too far as he comes in from long. He's going for it, but the looks of things, might as well give it a go, but he hasn't got a kit or nades. I think he'll find his fate momentarily. Spots Fallen. I'm not sure why. Challenging does some damage. It looks like it wants to die at this point. Cold Terror finds the final frag, and 7-1, and it should be another eco now for the CTs. Oh, it's getting rough again, Map.
Yeah. nothing encouraging for OpTic so far in this semi-final.
They've got nothing to lose at this point. It's just been 16-1. Why are we not seeing Mixwell go for those aggressive plays? Why is he not boosting up in the middle and trying to challenge the AWP to start? Get some picks, get that 5-on-4. We desperately need it. Go towards Monster at B. Get aggressive along. Something. Stop holding these default positions. It's getting out-dueled once again like they did on train, 1 by 1. At least take a gamble. Something's got to be done about this situation. For now, though, 5-7s. PT50s, a couple of flashbangs. Mixwell desperately tries to look towards connect at the flashbang. No good. Enough to fall back. He actually just gives himself away. Fur should find him. There's a tight corner there to give him some cover, but he should be dealt with. Just about gets away with it as Fur finds Hayes on the other side, and this is quite an easy round for SK overall. 2 kills coming in very quickly, and they're going to be making sure they're very efficient by molotoving out every position and checking every nook and cranny.
Fur gets the reload in, but nearly doesn't as Tarek slips in. He's there to put him down. Taco will take out Naf. We should have guns again for OpTic in this round. We'll see if they go again for Mixwell on the AWPs. But yes, he has. They've got double op. In fact, Tarek's going to pick up a second one. So we'll see if this aggression can change things. Mixwell's going to head over toward B, Tarek out toward long.
This is what they need to do. This is what the top AWPers, players like Fallen, will do on the CT side. You've got to be unpredictable, changing your position up every single round. Just as they're adapting to what you're doing, boom, you're on the other side of the map, finding kills and overwhelming the opposition. That hasn't happened as of yet. Double AWP setup, normally a bit of a desperate play, and a B rush. An adjustment from SK doesn't work out for them. Not so far, but Phelps refragging.
Decent nade in, gets damage done. Mixwell able to sidestep, find a kill, but missing that close shot. He's got to hit those in pressure, especially in games like this. He lost his rifle in behind the barrels. He was left to his own devices, and it's not enough. They do still have a 3 versus 3 with Bomb being down on the B side, but look at this positioning in water right now. Cold Zero is going to just sit and let them walk into it. Rush thinks of it, looks but doesn't fully commit to it, and Cold's able to take the first, slide out, find Tarek as well, and it's down to just 1 player remaining already. It's Hayes, and he's realized he's got no chance before he even arrives.
It's looking desperate now, isn't it? The B
So,
rush.
Aussies, who's excited for FaZe versus Stralis?
That might be a bit of a more interesting affair. What a rivalry that is. Unfortunately, this first semi-final, it looks like OpTic have been completely blown out of the water. No one's inspiring me so far to even suggest they can recover from this deficit so far. 16-1 in the first map. You're just joining us, and OpTic just out of their depth right now. Hayes will be the final player once again towards long. Double AWP set up, and SK is having fun with them at the moment, aren't they? B rush this time, just as OpTic adjust and go with the double AWP set up. They try to slow things down and maybe try and get some more picks going on. B rush, perfect call. They nail those first 2 shots. Flashbangs are great, and it doesn't look like anyone on OpTic's fired up. Hayes looks disillusioned at best, shaking his head there. He's just done. He's checked out. You've got to be firing a team up in these situations now. You can't give up. It's 9-1. There's still 5 rounds still left to get. They're not hungry for it by the looks of things. They will be forced buying into this round. Number 11, max 7s, 5-7s, and a scouts. It's not looking too good this round, I'm afraid. I'll have a look at the total money. It wasn't okay. It was a pass goodbye, to be fair. And Tarek does find a scout headshot. Something to work with here. Rush is in playground as well. But Fur, he takes down Mixwell. Rush has to do something here. He might be able to recover that AWP.
Cold. Ooh, he's gonna walk in. Big early rush. You can see how nervous they are at this point in time, how sketchy things seem to be. They'll get the AWP back. They know where Phelps is. And he's got a bit of an awkward situation with a crossfire at long. Still Rush doesn't want to push through, does, and goes down. So the AWP won't be saved in that position, so at least use later in the round.
So smart by Phelps, just baiting them into disadvantages, and it's going to be a 3-on-3 just like that. It goes on the 5 HP. The AWP taken down on the OpTic side. Shotgun.
And they know as well it's back over toward B.
Yeah,
so Naf didn't really want to walk out into toward construction because he knew the rotation had just left him behind them. So he's going to go the long way around toward A main. They've got a lurk on A. Fur can't find anyone late in transition, but he actually take that back. He got Tarek. I didn't think he could see him from there. So that's a decent find as well because it's going to limit them before they even get near the bomb site. And already Hayes just thinking better. Oh, that dink through the smoke I think is going to be enough for them to say no way.
Insult to injury at this point. I'm afraid a dink through the wall from the AK-47, and Hayes goes down to 52 HP. Max 7 to save enough. Oh, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but sometimes you just have to concede and try and save whatever you have. Double digits for SK Gaming. This is looking very similar to what we saw in Train. They will be able to save these 2 weapons. By the looks of things, I'll be able to tell you momentarily whether that comes in. Look at the bomb site going down at that stage. Hayes is towards long and now flying playground. They will save aforementioned lesser weaponry. That was a partial buy, to be fair, so they still have money going to this round, so the shotgun will be kept in the hands of Nafly. I'm going to check in with the scoreboards review, and oh, it's not looking good. Hazed, 1 for 8. Rush, not far in front as well. Nafly, like I said, he's had an amazing tournament so far. Has dropped off so much in this semi-final. Mixwell, like you said, the star player. Rough tournament for him all week. He's on 4 for 10. Round number 12 coming in. M4s. And Mixwell, this is what I wanted to see, some assertiveness. Let's get this first shot, and here we go. Hits it again, but can't find the frag. Heartbreaking for Mixwell, and he's going to be smoked out as well. That was the shot he needed just to get some confidence and get the team fired up. And he'll be able to call that he managed to take Phelps down to 13 HP, but still so much work to do. He goes down to 41 himself.
Around, get the op toward long instead. Taco makes contact on B, backs off. Ooh, bit awkward on his movement. Tag slow him down considerably as Naf thinks perhaps there's a chance to strike with the shotgun, but thwarted of that possibility by a little bit of aggression going back the other way. It's that wants actually to try and utilize the smoke over toward construction instead. He's so low on HP, 15, and Hazed inside of the site's not much better off on 13 that B could strike. In fact, all 3 players at B in red.
So much low HP, you're right. Nafly there. With that shotgun, 1 kill at best here. Taco's going to find the first, though. That range is not designed for the shotgun here. It does a bit, but ultimately this round looking to be an SK1 as we get into a Haze. 10 HP on the bomb site. Looking for a bit of luck. There it is. Takes down Phelps as well. Gets a position where he's flashed and somehow still alive in this one. And he has done considerable damage, fallen in low HP as well.
And he's buying time for the rotations. As SK continued to be a little bit slow going through, Naf overcommitting, but did decent damage and Hazed. He slipped up on the ramp. This is a perfect opportunity to strike. Can take bomb back, but what a shot from Fallen. That denies any chance of doing so, and Tarek only getting to the window now is not smoked off. But with 10 seconds left, Bomb's just getting in position, and he has a Molotov.
That could work.
Bomb exactly Fallen. He's low on HP. That butt could actually stop him. He's done it. He's won the round. Mixwell's got a shot on Cold Zero, and the Molotov does it, denying the bomb.
Well, wasn't the cleanest way to do it, but they all count. OpTic find a lifeline there with the incendiary. It was looking so nice for SK Gaming. Then the 2v1 was looking almost certainly to go in their favor, but then the incendiary flies in, denies the bomb going down. If you're a new Counter-Strike viewer, you need 4 seconds on the clock to get that bomb down. As soon as the player went down, there was only 3, and that meant the round's automatically going in favor of OpTic. 10-2 now. They can get 10-5. It's still a winnable game, but they need to start stepping into the game. Lose this round, though, unfortunately. That means another harsh reset coming in. That's double eco territory. Mixwell, this time, not in the connector. He's towards the monster tunnel, but the terrorist already and waiting for him. That was Taco. Takes him down to 43 HP, and a fast play this time from SK towards long. No time wasted whatsoever. Third just running around the corner. So brave, it seems, as they make their way towards the A side.
Pick up from Naf to shut down for back-to-back rounds for OpTic.
Hopefully.
Be something new in this series. Tarek will work outside of the bathrooms. Cold trying to strike back to even it up. Shows face, makes contact, backs off though, because that's going to pull Tarek as well away from the aggressive position outside of A. And get in a position to set a crossfire with his teammate. 3-stack B, no one rotating over early despite the aggression at long, so they're being patient. But Rush will get himself in a better position perhaps now to respond should they make a play for the site in general. Good find from Cold, takes Tarek down to 12, but definitely not only pulling back to a 4 versus 4, but weakening up the A defense. A massive kill for them to find.
Yeah, once again, there's no refrag potential. Tarek gets the headshot, sure, but he's now made things very difficult. The execution's still a possibility here. The smoke starts to come in, and it's Taco to lead the charge. He has got 100 HP, flashes, overwhelming the CT's rush. Needs to hit the headshot here. Does it? Can he find this round? Back-to-back, like you said, they need it desperately.
Good position, and the smoke will find Taco. Bomb being planted, and already hazed. Never mind, not being planted. Taking down the post-plant position of Cold. Fallen falls once more before the bomb hits the ground, and that's going to mean money actually becomes a bit of a factor for SK. They build up a huge bank, but 2 rounds without a plant. Okay, I take it back. Yeah, they're completely fine. I thought they'd be limited off. Yeah, Fur's got 10K. The others are around the 2K mark, but they'll be fine as a result of that.
Yeah, it's round number 14. You got better on 10K. You're absolutely fine. But 4 AKs falling on the AWP once again. A double AWP setup this time. Nafly and Mixwell taking heavy grenade damage. And Tarek, though, here we go. This is what we needed from OpTic. You need to get in their faces. You can't allow SK to have full control of the map. He finds 2 kills, but he's quickly shut down by Phelps. This is the round that's looking promising, though, for OpTic. They've been so passive so far. Needed to step up their game. Something to work with finally, like you said, back-to-back rounds, looking for the third here. They have the man advantage in round number 14.
Taco starts his way back up toward the ramp as well. Smoke in front of him. Rush times that just about
Taco,
right.
I love it.
But he's pushed through, he's spotted. Rush does look back. If he hadn't, you're right, they absolutely could have, but the early aggression pays off, and they'll pick up their fourth round, giving themselves somewhat of a fighting chance heading in to the second half, especially if they can convert this now to 5 straight. Another 5 rounds total. Fallen's on the op again. They'll have a double op with Naf and Mixwell.
This is what we needed to see from Tarek. I'm going to just make that point again. The fact is they've been holding back so much and having those single duels, the same problems we had on Train. Tarek taking matters into his own hand. Good smoke in middle, decent flashbangs as well. SK, we're not expecting that. He gets 2, and it's enough. They're able to hold off the B attack at that stage. Round number 15, they get 10-5. This is possible now. Tarek once again looking for the second frag. He finds Burr, and he's not giving up just yet. Pushing through the smoke. Cold Zera does take him down eventually, but that could have been another double frag.
Mix can't man the shot top stairs. He'll back off. And he's got to be careful because Taco's actually watching down the hallway, but he's actually locked himself against the pallet at the exact moment he crossed over, so missed the opportunity for the shot. And it'll be a long rotation back over toward A from B, from Mixwell. So they'll split the ops once more. Naf's going to stay aggressive over toward Monster. Cold. Patient to see if anyone will make a mistake and get curious out toward long, as Hazed is arguably being a little bit impatient in toward the bathrooms, but won't extend beyond a line of sight to look out toward mid. Fallen will force him to move off and then drop the bomb around so he can try and get aggressive on the pick.
Well then, round number 15, 40 seconds remaining. Tarek trying to do everything he could at the start of the round. Gets that first kill, does damage to Phelps as well, so technically gives them the advantage, but overall a 4-on-4 certainly favors the terrorist side. The reason for that being it spreads the CD defense thinner. The terrorists can obviously stick together, but time ticking away once again. This is a crazy boost to be going for at this point. 20 seconds now. Hayes, he should find his frag. Oh, overwhelmed by Phelps, that's a shame.
Yeah, 22 HP, 12 excuse me, even to get the kill, and then they walk toward the A site. Mixwell's the only one here, off in position, good farm, bomb down, 10 seconds. He can try and hold off the bomb, but they grab it. They're gonna commit to the plant as well and overwhelm Mixwell. That's gonna allow it. They got there just in time on 6 seconds, and an overreaction from Rush to try and do exactly that into the site. It's SK to pull it back, but arguably they shouldn't. One shot missed from Mix, and that was enough to give SK the plant.
Well, I have to give it to Tarek. He was the only player that really stepped up towards the end. Assertive play. He's getting aggressive there and managing to at least get 4 rounds on the board. Much better than what we saw on Train. That's a difficult thing to say, but at least it's something to work with, Matthew. Oh, my God. What a half that was. But we'll take a quick break and see whether they can maybe get a bit deeper into this series.
A slightly better showing from OpTic late in the half to give them 4 rounds, but is it enough against SK, who's won every single pistol, and quite convincingly? You could argue the train one with Cold wasn't, but when you win a 1 versus 3 defuse happening, I'd say that's pretty convincing in itself.
Now the stats for 14 kills and 7 deaths in this map so far. The top fragger for OpTic and that fly. I have to say, Tarek is my MVP for what he did to step up there towards the end. We'll get into the T-pistol though for OpTic. 3 sets of armor, make it 4. And Hayes must be rushing B, but he's going to find the first frag as well. Fallen goes down. Similar approach from SK. Can they convert it to a victory here?
Maxwell with the shot. Definitely adds to their chances as Phelps pulls one back. They're going to try and get the bomb down on B. They should do so now. In fact, there you go, planted. Crossfire set from jungle. Phelps patient, trying to wait for his teammate to get in position. Fur has gotten all the way around toward Monster, but he's spotted out by Tarek and reached up from far on the Glock. This should as well give the round, surely at this point, especially with Phelps running out of ammo. To OpTic, you have to laugh when you really see him from that range with a knife in his hands. That's not a knife.
He called that a knife. Well, 11-5. OpTic do manage to pick up a pistol here. That's what they needed. We said that on train as well. This time they get it. 11-5. Can they get a little bit deeper in towards Overpass there? Everyone's saying train was their chance to really establish himself in the semi-final. That wasn't the case at all. This is looking more promising though. It's still a massive lead for SK, but OpTic can build upon this. It's going to be a sort of forced fight from the CT side. Maxwell rushing B once again. He gets that first headshot and a second to boot as well, but Cold Zero is there. Ready and waiting with the CZ. Gets another headshot, but no frag. It's up to Fur now to try and recover the 3-on-2. That's a bad smoke.
Terrible smoke, and it works as well. He stopped the plant. Hayes goes down. That's going to bring it back to a 2 versus 2, and Fur has to do it all himself, though, because Fallen is gone, and they know he was out toward Bags, which means he's likely rotated around a Monster, so Naf's going to get some consideration. Still, they want to commit to the bomb plant on B rather than try and run it off to A, but they'll get the kill instead.
Prime example, Lasky, you don't need to plant the bomb as soon as you get the opportunity to. Make sure your teammates are covering the key positions. The smoke's bad. Buy yourself some time. Just work out what to play. Should I plant safe? Do I need to actually change my position here? That was a little bit dicey there from Hayes, but it's recovered by Naf as he had good awareness towards long, and the force by thwarted there as OpTic pick up round number 2. It's going to be now number 3, and the full eco, of course, for SK Gaming. A couple of P250s and some USPs. That's about it. Attacker's got the flashbang. An almost guaranteed round for the T side here. Flashbangs towards middle. Mixwell's going to town with the AK-47.
Second bullet was a high right, but he'll take it. More importantly, Naf will take the 3 kills on the MAC-10. Make some whopping cash. AWP immediately for Fallen, though, in the gun round. I'm checking his spawn. I think he's got the front. He could push Fountain. He's got the best spawn for it. We'll see if he makes it there in time or not. Naf setting off, but yeah, Fallen's already at benches. He's going to smoke himself in, go for the bench play. No one's going to be on the other side of it, so he's got information that no one's going to cross. There's not much chance anyone could have beat him considering. So that should affirm a rotation back over toward B instead, and especially with Fur anchoring at rocks out toward long position, and it gives Phelps a chance to get better and closer toward B.
It's up to the AKs and MAC-10s. A difficult round for OpTic. They're going towards B. There's a heavy defense on the ZD side though. Taka ready and waiting, watching short. Mixwell when he's deciding some shots here. It will be a final B commitment from what I can see so far. Still a chance to change up if they want to, but with the weaponry they have, B bomb side makes the most sense. Hayes stepping up with the AK, gives him that early advantage.
Nice response from Cold though. Catch Hayes in the middle of throwing the Molotov. So before the position was gone, he still makes it work for 1. But as said, the Molotov is down. It means they can cover off the plant. They'll try and do so, but Cold getting Naf makes things very uncomfortable for Mixwell, who still has to try and commit to this. And if he does so, Tarek on 16 needs to be passive-aggressive in the fact that he needs the information. Mix his tag down to Cold. Big problems now as they go into a 4 versus 2 to hold off. Charging SK, Fallen waiting for the smoke to reveal the fact that he's got vision from window, and Rush has to make a move from Bags. They know Tarek's toward the rim. He's got 3 on red HP, but can't find the angles, and Cold will find it instead to give them number 12.
So we discussed the idea of taking the SMGs into that first gun round, the bonus round as I described it in the first half. I think in this particular instance, though, it's not worth it. You have money to upgrade to the AKs. You're so far out of it in terms of the scoreline. I think you just upgrade to the AKs. You've got to take round by round now, going for victories each time. SK Gaming find the first gun round, and I think it was 4 players surviving as well. It was indeed. So still, OpTic do have plenty of money to work with here, but that round could have been in their favor had they had a few more rifles to work with. The Mac 10 against Armor is almost like a pea shooter. We'll go into round number 20 now. All power for Mixwell once again. Looks like they're focusing towards B. Molotov towards short. We do have that aggressive play with the AWP and middle as well. That's, of course, going to be Fallen. Taco incendiary towards short, and that's a nice shot from Mixwell. Takes down coldzera and a 5-on-4. Once again in favor of OpTic. They're actually looking pretty promising now. Yeah,
it's been a few rounds. They've had the first pick. It hasn't been common in this game, and with Cold down early as well, that's a huge kill to find. Slip in from Tarek, gets Fur. Surely you convert this round into 5 versus 3, but Fallen's going to find one in return, and Phelps has good map control already pushed as well into the park. So 3 on B. Should be a rotation push from Fallen, and they'll lock off and pincer OpTic into position. Taco's the only one close, though. Quick flash, trying to play an off angle. As soon as they walk in, he's going to line up one shortly. Shadow shows patience from Hayes, though, as he shoulder baits and makes his way in, and that should be round almost done at this point.
Absolutely. Fantastic shot from Mixwell there. It's quite rare to see them, but Fallen, he still fancies his chances here. Takes down Nafly, but I think that might be the cue to fall back. Phelps is coming in from the monster tunnel, potentially towards short as well, but you can see them conceding round number 20 here. They still have a huge bed to work with going forward, so no chance to... Okay, Phelps takes down Mixwell there. That's actually quite expensive for OpTic, all things considered. It's now a 2-on-2, now a 1v1. There is a chance for Phelps.
This is huge. Phelps trying to work his way in. No kit, but he gets the kill through the wall, and he's got lots of time. SK is going to go on to 13. Oh, Isaiah, he's got lots of time.
He's got it. It's okay.
Okay, all right. I was going to say that's going to be closer, but it is going to be the round SK 3 to go, and for OpTic as well, having won the pistol, their money's going to get chiseled away. They're still in a position to buy in this round, but it's not going to be much beyond this.
I'm surprised SK even challenged that one. It seemed like such a locked round by OpTic Gaming. Mixwell maybe overextending there with the AWP. It seemed like there was no entrance whatsoever. As soon as he goes down, they find a kill at the same time, falling from the CT entrance, and then all of a sudden it falls apart, and OpTic desperately needed that. Like you said, there still is enough money to buy into this round. 3 AKs, but Nafly, he's down to the Tech 9. Mixwell still on the AWP, and he's coming in towards middle. Here we go then, 13-7. After this round, give this one away. That could be the signal for GG. It'll be 14-7. Let's see what OpTic can do here. They're into the passive default for now, and Rush once again finding that opening pick. It's Phelps going this time. They're pushing towards middle. Fur, fully blind. How does he take down Rush there? Managing to recover the situation.
As Tarek backs off inside of the smoke, though, as well. They'll continue to push and try and get closer inside of the tunnels and around toward bathroom and push the CTs back, more importantly, because SK still has a forward stance with Fur, but he's got to watch both sides of the connection point, which becomes an issue. He's got no support system in place. They're trying to slip back in position with, I believe it's coldzera. Yeah, it is. So to keep an eye on the front side of bathroom. Live for more room to work. Surely an easy kill for him to find, but he gets caught off by Hayes to great reaction. And that's going to limit the defense once more. Thin them out as Fallen and Cold are going to try double up to hold off this A side. Last spotted information on that side of the map. 40 seconds, about 35. You're going to see a commitment on Overpass every single time, but it could be earlier than that with the smokes getting set.
Yeah, but Fallen's still alive. He's such a nemesis here. And Matt, they're actually falling back. You said the AV execution was a potential. It certainly was. They're going back towards B. The problem is Taco's pushed out of Monster Tunnel, comes down to the time is there. Taco will hear them at this point. It's coldzera on the other side of the map. Taco, double kill, almost guaranteed. There it is. Locks it down. And it's going to be the round going in favor of SK. And I dare say that could be the game, because the fact of the matter is OpTic now have 0 cash to work with. It's 14-7, 1 away from series point. And I think possibly a pause has to come in here. You might as well take it. You've got one available, OpTic. I don't think they've paused once here on Overpass. And there it is. The pause does come in indeed. Tactical pause. And in terms of the money, I'll give you a spoiler. It's going to be $2,600 per player on the OpTic side. So what are the options? Hayes with his head in his hands once again. He needs to find some magic here. What's the play? What is going to be the strategy that finds them around number 8 here and gets them back into this game? Options, either rush B, fast towards middle. I would say at this stage, get the Tech 9s, get the armor, 5 smokes, full wall of smokes in the B side. Try and get that bomb down. It was looking promising for them on train. The only real round they picked up was an execution. I mean, it's so limited in terms of money. That's all you can really do. You're not going to outgun them with those Tech 9s. You need the smokes down there. Provide some cover. Use the running gun methodology you can actually employ with the Tech 9s, and we'll see whether it steps up, because we're going into it. Round number 22. UMPs over Tech 9s. Interesting. So that means they won't have as much money for the utility. So 2 UMPs with just flashbangs, no smokes. They have 2 smokes in totals on the Tech9 players. That does allow you to get a little bit more in your back pocket. 14-7, we'll get into it now. They're focusing on middle, no B-rush this time.
Fur as well, again, is going to try and anchor out toward the long position with Fallen this time on the flower pot. We haven't seen him go there as much as he normally does in this game. But that gives up the front of bathrooms, which means Phelps has to make contact and cover them off. He's made at least the assessment that they're there. Fur is going to try and, rather than rotate back, take advantage of it by getting more aggressive at long. Fallen will do this toward the connection point. He is baited into his shot. They know he's there. Tries for another. Surely has to fall back. This will be first time to strike, though. He's at second rock already, and Mixwell's about to walk into a trap. And he goes down. Fur should be able to push all the way around him. Cold doing D on top of the site. Oh. Does better than that as Hayes gets close. Will go down to rush eventually as he's the only one left, though, with bomb inside of the site. It's just Tarek, and he's cut off. It's map point, series point for SK, and a chance to go straight through to the best of 5 finals tomorrow.
Yeah, a slightly better showing from OpTic overall here, but this is their last chance saloon. 15-7. 4th stage loss bonus, and that's going to mean $2,900 coming into their bank accounts. Not really enough to work with here. Scouts, UMPs, a Tech9. 1 AK-47 for Rush, he's got no grenades. And I would say at this point, this is almost certainly over. 2 orbs for the SK side, called Zera and Fallen. So much confidence, so much to work with here. Fur is getting up towards the party position. Flashed in, he'll take a little peek there. And Mixwell is trying to get towards shore, but is held off by the incendiary grenades by the CT side there. Tarek with the scout, oh goodness, he's actually getting quite lucky with the timings at that point. But Fur, he's locked him in.
Yeah, Fur is just going to easily hunt him down, takes them straight forward.
Gets tagged in the process, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. 5-on-4, that's their headline. And it should be in now. It's going to take an absolute miracle for OpTic to pick this up with just a Tech9, UMPs, and 1 AK-47.
Waiting has Fallen. Good position, tight angle. Known for it this time, he won't be baited. Rush down. And the problem gets much worse for OpTic. 3 players that have to pull this back, and as you say, limited weapons. They have upgraded NAF onto one of the AK-47s that was downed early. But they have no map control. SK, again, now that they've gone more aggressive toward long late in this half, are locking OpTic out in so many of their options. Back over toward the top of the stairwell. Fallen finds that as well. NAF's the next in line. He won't push just yet. As Fallen wants to confirm, in fact, that there's no one else lurking over toward A. It's going to be just NAF remaining. Bomb in hand. 1 versus 5. This is it. SK's done it. 2 straight maps, and in great fashion from Fallen as well to close it out. 16-7, 2-0. They won the summit. They've been saying for a while they want to be back on top of the world. This is a good foot forward in doing so.
Grand finals time for SK Gaming. Clinical stuff from them. Never really broke a sweat whatsoever. I hate to say it, Matt. OpTic just didn't arrive in this grand final whatsoever. Oh, sorry, the semi-final whatsoever. Looked so weak on train. A bit better here on Overpass. A bit more assertive play there. Tarek trying to do what he could, but the key players for them, Nafly, has been great all tournament. He seemed to be struggling here today. And unfortunately for OpTic, it's goodbye from them. But to be fair, Matt, semi-finals and you're playing with a stand-in, not a bad showing overall from them, all things considered.
Yeah, not a bad showing at all. And especially, I mean, they took North into a triple overtime to start off the tournament. We knew then that there was something in it. Hazed fragged very well throughout. Oftentimes you'll see a stand-in, especially Hazed, not to call him out, but he wasn't exactly known for fragging before either.
Sure.
So to come in and do as well as he did and lead them the way that he did was quite impressive. I think Mixwell, you can see him there just looking a little bit miffed. Didn't have the best tournament, but wasn't too bad overall. It's just more assertion. As you say, Tarek was the one that stepped up to do that for them today. But SK back in the final against FaZe or Astralis, which is a semi-final this event. Yeah, that's crazy. Just based on the way the bracket worked, it couldn't possibly be the final. It's still pretty epic.
Well, Matthew, we have a nice little interview with OJ Borg on the stage.
Thank you, Henry. Fabulous first semi-final. Wasn't that great? Great first semi-final. And that was fairly easy.
Yeah, we can say easy. OpTic was playing with the coach, Hazard. He's an awesome coach. He was an awesome player as well. But I think we were favorites, and SK is back, guys.
They are indeed back. Because when I was talking about your team, you had such a great 2016. Obviously, rebuilding the team, things have changed slightly. How close to being back to the best you can be are you?
Actually, our peak is not close yet, but we are improving. Every tournament we play, we improve. So the last tournaments we played, we won Summit, we lost IEM Katowice and Salada, So it was we got a good lesson from these tournaments that we lost. So we are improving. We are a good team. We have good pieces. We are a puzzle. So soon you're gonna be back soon.
Well, you are going to be in the final playing off of that trophy here in Sydney. Who do you think you'll be playing against, Astralis or FaZe?
I think both are good teams, and the last grand finals was against the last tournaments was FaZe against Astralis. So both are great teams. If I have to bet, I can't bet, guys. Don't bet. If I have to bet, I would say Astralis.
You think it's Astralis? And just because we've got a great crowd here, can I get an Aussie, Aussie, Aussie from you?
Sorry?
Let me have an Aussie, Aussie, Aussie from you.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Yes, put your hands together. Our first semi-finalist, they're through. He says they're back. It is SK through to the final.
SK are back, is what Taco had to say. And so far, he's looking to be backing it up over those last two maps. We've heard from him already, but we've got a special surprise. We do have Miles Ross down by the stage with Fallen for a bit of extra insight of how that series went down, Miles.
Thank you, Mitch. I'm joined by Fallen, Decimated OpTic Gaming. You made it look very, very easy. I mean, what was going on? We saw what Taco said, but have you got any other bits and pieces you could share with us to explain just how you guys did what you did?
Hello, everyone. I don't think the game was easy. I think easy is giving up, easy is quitting when you don't think you can do it anymore. So we made it look easy because we played some of our best Counter-Strike we have been playing with this lineup so far. And what I can say is it's amazing to play here. This crowd gave us so much hype, and we've played with our hearts on this game. Thanks, guys.
What do you think of the crowd? Is this, you've been all over the world. You played Counter-Strike in so many different countries now in front of so many people. How do the Australians compare?
Amazing. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Those guys know what they're doing, yeah. You guys are amazing. Thanks a lot for hyping. Thanks a lot for being here. For us, you know that our lives are about Counter-Strike. And when you're doing your work, when you're doing your job to perform, and you see a lot of people that give you a lot of love, it's amazing. So thanks a lot, guys, for coming.
Thank you very much, mate. A man who kicks more ass than Delta Airlines. Mitch, we'll throw it back to you guys on the desk.
Not quite the right airline, but I'll give it to you regardless, unless that's actually just a plug, in which case, fantastic. We just heard from Fallen there as well, and what's so interesting about this map, gentlemen, is that he actually did not have a huge performance on Overpass. He didn't need to...
Hello. You missed the stage again, Taco. You went the wrong way again. You lost, bro?
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, he did jump out of a plane yesterday, so maybe all that air pressure and everything kind of messed him up.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that was a nice visit. Anyway,
he needs to go to Pashta's geography school as well. Orientation school.
All right, gentlemen. Let's talk about Fallen a little bit after we were interrupting the nicest way possible, of course. He didn't really have to do a lot of heavy lifting on Overpass, especially.
Yeah, he was. I thought he disconnected or something at a point, because I look at the scoreboard. It was the second half, and he had 3 kills and 9 deaths. It's like, didn't really see much action. But even with that, it shows like how stats really don't mean much, because he had a lot of impact. For example, one of the maybe even the most important round of the game was the 3v5 that in the end ended up in a 2v3 that Fallen and Phelps won, because that would have probably forced SK to go on an eco, maybe gave some momentum to OpTic back, and Fallen just had a 3K in that round. Phelps also finished it off himself with that 1v1 clutch, and just shows you that no matter the numbers, players will still have impact in different ways.
Said you felt like, Ian, watching OpTic play, that they were playing quite defensive, quite passive, and this is kind of not what you wanted to see from them, especially on the CT side when we spoke earlier.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was just everything that we expected to see from them because, like I said before the game, they do play very passive. They did have one round where they had a bit of success playing a bit aggressive towards that B site, just pushing up close to the Ts. But I think at the end of the day, it was also the OpTic players, a couple of them just made a few minor mistakes on really important rounds, like the one you were talking about with Fallen, where Mixwell went down towards the B short area and gave away his life. So it was small mistakes like that that really allowed them to get back into this, because OpTic had a chance to at least get a few more rounds and make it close.
And Janko, you've actually got a segment you've taken out of the game here as well, just for illustrative purposes, so take it away.
Yeah, it's what Ian pointed out, the round where they were aggressive towards Monster. So first gun round, Mixwell only has an AWP, and Kevlar goes aggressive towards the Monster area, catches out Taco. We can pause it here for a second, and this is where you can kind of see Rush and Hazed also deciding to go aggressive mid-round. Even though they're in a 5v4 situation, I think this is also them making a call that basically Taco is alone towards that side of the map most of the time for SK. So you can see how they're going to be very aggressive, try to clear that area out. And even with that, Tariq also has a forward position. He doesn't see anything, doesn't hear anything. We can play it again now. We'll see that even though SK is rotating towards that area of the map with a lot of units, still Rush and Hazed in this position, they get a lot of information for their team. Even though they get only a 2-for-2 trade, that's kind of unfavorable, they still, because of the Mixwell pick, have an advantage. And look what that means. coldzera and Phelps are very, very far back from the B bomb site, even further away, of course, from the A bomb site, and that allows the players from OpTic Gaming to be in position waiting for them. This ended up, Phelps had that crazy pre-fire shot, but it wasn't enough for them to win the round. And this is how you need to play against SK, especially after you get crushed on map 1. And OpTic did that in the first gun round where Mixwell, for example, didn't have any nades, and then we didn't really see that for the rest of the half, pretty much towards the very, very end. They tried it on some occasions in a round where they tried to be aggressive towards mid. They were outplayed by SK because they went for a B fake, really outmaneuvered them in that round, but it was just like, I don't know, for me it felt like they go aggressive one round, they feel that they need to switch pace, but SK is just going to keep doing the same thing. You need to be constantly aggressive until a couple of gun rounds later, they finally switch their own play around.
So why did then you bring up the old Na'Vi and SK battles, right? This slow style from Na'Vi against this aggression from SK. So why did it work for Na'Vi? Why did this more passive, this slow role play work for that team against that aggression that SK loved to bring?
It's a different way. It's similar to, how, for example, how Astralis plays on Overpass. Their default is so strong that they don't get picked off by oppers. They are very, very good at just taking map control in a safe manner and still having enough utility for the late route execute either towards A or towards B. That's something that's not easy. Not many things can do it, obviously, and it's what makes Astralis one of the best teams in the world.
I mean, the other thing is also, SK didn't even need to do that because OpTic weren't in those frontline positions on their defense side. They weren't pushing any agendas on SK, so SK was just getting all that territory for free. So when it comes to the executes, maybe even if they don't work, they can just do another execute because they still have all that utility. And SK knew that as well. They definitely knew that OpTic was sitting back in their sights. And that's also one reason why the one round that OpTic won caught them off guard, because they already thought that they had done enough to come back towards the B site and it would be clear, but it wasn't.
So now, obviously, this means we are sending OpTic home. They're done. They've fallen out in the semi-finals. Now, if you're the coach, if you're hazed and you're looking ahead in the future, what are the real big things you want to build into this kind of team? What protocols do you want to set down to see them actually be able to overcome this kind of aggression or this level of opposition in the future?
I think a big problem for them was even with FaZe in-game, they still didn't do a good job of adapting. In both maps, we saw the same thing. On Train being too passive, then they call a timeout, they go a bit more aggressive, and instead of them continuing to do that until SK changes their own setup, they just go back to the old thing, get reset, and pretty much get crushed in that game. So that's something that they need to work on as a team. Hazed as a coach, and also Jason R when he comes back to play, because he is the in-game leader of the team. You can't really be that stale, perhaps is the right word, on this level of play, because you are just going to get outplayed by your opponents.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it comes back to that being rigid that I talked about with the Vici Gaming guys. They just call something out of their spawn and it's either A or it's B, and if something falls apart in between, they all fall apart and the whole thing crumbles. So what I would like to see out of OpTic is when they regroup and they have their proper lineup, obviously they need to get some strategies, sort of plan A, plan B, but then they need to focus on their opponents a bit more and play to the opponent's weaknesses.
And of course, Hazed is going to be a crucial part of that if he stays on as their coach, because this event, he's been their in-game leader. And for those of you at home, maybe you haven't seen a lot of CS in the past, I wonder what we're talking about. In-game leaders are a member of the team that really has to make those calls and strategies, even mid-round, to decide where the team as a unit is going. And if you want to find out a little bit more, we've got something nice to show you.
Like it is right now, I think the in-game leading role is really important. He has to tell everyone what they are supposed to do. He has to be open-minded about letting the players do what they want to. Also, he has to have some kind of sacrifice skill. He has to be able and happy about sacrificing for the team, keeping smokes for late in the round so you can help your team stack aside. You have to be really clever, I think. So I started to feel that I was a pretty good aimer, a pretty good player myself. I was thinking about how do I get to be an even better player. I started to look demos from players like Khan from 1.6. I started to look at Fetish. I wanted to make sure I understand how they played and why they called the things they did. I wasn't that great at being a good leader for my team when I was like 18, 17, but like now I can feel that it's going really well. When I started to become the in-game leader for this team, what I have looked the most at is probably Zeus from Gambit, and I have been looking at Fallen from SK because I think they are two amazing in-game leaders. I don't believe that teams only rely on individual skill. That is why I think Karrigan is also a really good in-game leader, because there's nothing as only individual skill. You have to have team play and you have to have proper tactics. They want me to be the in-game leader. So the people on my team has a lot of respect for me. So if I say they should not go, they will not go. So you have to look for certain things when you're anti-strat. I don't think you can just go all in on an anti-strat and believe that is the key to success against an opponent. The most important thing is to play your own game. And then you can have small tweaks to play around the opponents that you're playing against. Don't rely on it too much, but still always look for demos before a match, because you don't want to get surprised by your opponent. I think I'm a pretty strict in-game leader. Right now the team is really happy with it, and of course I'm open-minded. I think that is the way to go, because if you want a stable team, you want stable results, then you need to be strict and you have to have certain things you do in certain situations, and that is what we are working on.
Fantastic to hear from Glaive there as well on his stint in in-game leading, which hasn't really been for that long, not as long as other IGLs in the scene. He was the most recent addition for Australis, and it seems to have worked out so far. I'm very lucky here, ladies and gentlemen, to be joined on the desk by two players who have played as in-game leaders. Of course, Yankee, yourself in Serbia, and of course, Ian, many remember you as in-game leader in teams like Immunity, and even nowadays, of course, with Atletico. So let's talk about this. It's a great topic. Let's talk about the importance of being an in-game leader. What does it actually mean, you know, outside of what we've heard from Glaive?
Well, in-game leaders, yes, maybe not as much success as Glaive, fair to say. But yeah, I think it's very obvious the importance of in-game leaders now that the meta has shifted. You see the addition of Glaive, what it has done to Australis, addition of Kerrigan to FaZe, also the importance of Stanislaw in the North American region, right, with the whole OpTic and Liquid thing. And I think, obviously, Glaive made a lot of good points that you have to be open-minded, that you need to focus on your own game first. You kind of need to take a step back in-game to an extent. Your main job in-game is not to, you know, carry the team by fragging, is to figure out a way to position your teammates in the best possible way for your team to win the round.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing that also Glaive picked up on there was just having those rules. I don't know if he called them that, but they're like when a situation happens, then you've already predetermined the way to react to them. And that's really important for an in-game leader to do. The other thing is in-game leaders are probably the most important role now that that coaching rule has changed, where the coaches are no longer able to feed information to players throughout rounds. So it's really, unless there's a tactical pause, the in-game leader is the guy in the freeze time who's basically dictating the plays, identifying or trying to make reads like MSL does occasionally, where he just says, okay, let's put 3 guys over towards this bomb site, which is unusual, but that's how I feel things are going to go down.
For all those people there who underestimate in-game leaders and think, yeah, it's just like you make a call, basically you have strats set and you just call something and you win or you lose, basically. So the in-game leader, in the 15 or 20 seconds of freeze time that he has, he needs to look at the money of his own team, figure out what he can call with that, think how much money his opponents have, then think about, okay, what have we done so far in this half, what can we do next, same for your opponents, and then perhaps one of your players will come in and say, oh, but I forgot to throw that smoke, or I bought a nade instead of a smoke, and then you have to rethink everything again. If your opponents go for an aggressive move, you need to be able to adapt, and I think Glaive is perhaps even the best in-game leader in the world at this moment at adapting mid-game, mid-round, even very good at figuring things out. I don't think there's a better example for that than the grand finals of the major, that last map between Australis and Virtus Pro, how he was just able to flip the switch, make his team play super aggressive on the T side, which is not easy to do, especially in a grand final of a major, and that basically propelled Australis to a victory.
And I think that's what it is. I mean, like Glaive said, it's playing your own game and then finding those little tweaks that really counter your opponent. And that's what he did against Virtus Pro and Train, just to get them back into that game and then eventually to win it.
It's an interesting topic. I think we could go on for quite a while, actually, about this one. However, there are more games to be played here in the Kudos Bank Arena, ladies and gentlemen. After the break, one of the biggest rivalries in CS gets reignited here. Don't go too far. It's going to be our second semi-final. FaZe in Australis just around the corner.